And next, I have the lovely Megan Nolan, who's going to come and join me right now as we talk about something which I think we all need about now, because it's been a lovely flurry of energy this morning, of learning, but we need the power of the pause, slowing down to speed up. Megan, welcome. Yay.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so wonderful to be here with everyone. I'm so honored and excited to be here and share with you all.
Well, I'm happy to have you here because definitely this is a nice place to have what you're going to share. But first of all, will you just tell us a little bit about yourself so that everyone knows what they can expect?
I'd love to. Thank you. So as I mentioned in the chat, I'm originally from Canada, but I really don't like snow. So I decided to move out into the middle of the ocean to the beautiful island of Maui, and it's perpetually summer and even hotter this summer. So that's lovely. So I am a personal trainer. I teach yoga, and I also am a mental fitness coach. So I bring all of that together so that we can be strong and healthy from the inside out. And it's such an honor for me to be able to share these tools with you all today, and also here locally with my community. I mean, I've taught yoga inside all of the power plants here on Maui, inside the mayor's conference room. You know, never thought I would be doing something like that or given the opportunity to share in that way. And it's really fun to make it accessible to people, because it really is all about that pause and just taking a moment for ourselves periodically throughout the day to refresh and regenerate our energy.
I agree. And we just spoke about energy and bringing in energy. And so we can talk about energy and pushing that, but why are you passionate about helping women to actually slow down?
Well, because for a lot of reasons, but many is that we all tend to get caught up in that story that our brain tells us of, we have 1,000,001 things to do. There's too much to do. We got to get going. Blah, 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 blah. And we can get into that fury and that frantic energy, that frazzled energy. And that can be really exhausting. And it is exhausting, right? And so let us know in the chat if you've been there and got to that point of complete exhaustion and burnout and just kind of in a puddle of tears on the floor. And I don't know if I can do this anymore. And especially with entrepreneurship, you know, it's challenging. It's a lot more challenging than I expected, at least. And so I'm super passionate for that reason, because it's these tools that are so helpful for our overall physical vitality are also so powerful for emotional health and vitality as well. And when we are happy and thriving from the inside out, then you can go out and share your magic with the world. And that's really what this beautiful ripple effect is. And especially this summit is empowering you with the tools for you to thrive so that you can go out there and share your gifts with the world. And so I'm passionate about it for that reason, but then also for the reason that many of us, in fact, there was a study that came out recently from Deloitte of over 5,000 women in 10 different countries. And 53% of the women that were asked reported their stress was much higher than the year before. 46% reported feeling burnt out. 33% said they had taken off time recently for mental health challenges. So this tells us, right, that the numbers are showing us that people are really, really stressed out. And I mean, it's been a long 2 years plus now, right?
Yeah,
and
it has.
Really, go ahead.
No, yes, it has. I'm agreeing. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a long 2 years, and it's really starting to show. And in a sense, we may not see it right away, but we can feel it. And when we take that time to intentionally take breaks along the way, it helps us to replenish, right? It's like pit stops. Or when we were children, it's like recess time, right? We still get to play. We're adults. We're allowed to play. You're allowed to play. And in fact, you thrive and your body thrives when you do.
Yeah. Well, we talked before in the summit about like how driven and how high achieving so many of the women are and all the responsibilities we have. So how would someone know when they need to press pause?
That's a great question. And a lot of that is really tuning into ourselves and noticing how we are feeling in each moment. And for example, if you're about to go live on your Facebook or your Instagram or where have you, and you're like, okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. And right, you see the difference than somebody who's like, yay, I'm going to go live. What am I going to talk about? You know, if you're feeling like you have to really put it on to give it out, then that's a sign that you might be a little bit depleted already. Or if you feel like you're in that constant frizzle frazzled, there's a million and one things to do, and you're going bing bong, and you're all over the place. Or to the contrary, which often happens to me, your brain is going, there's nothing happening. That's a time for replenishment, right? And it's a time when we can intentionally press pause, and you can just take a moment. And the one thing that people, we all kind of hear this story in our head, I don't have time, I have a million and one things to do, I don't have time. But knowing that when we press pause, it can be literally for like 30 seconds, and it can be beneficial. If you can take a minute or 5, it's even more beneficial. But the ROI, the return on investment, when you do press pause, is such an amazing return, because you're feeling incredible. You're feeling grounded, you're feeling open, you're feeling patient, all of those good things that come.
Yeah. And so everyone that's here today, if you feel like, oh, maybe I should be pressing pause, put PP in the chat box, so that you start to really think about like, oh goodness, yep, I probably need that right now. And we are going to have a moment to be able to do that. But before we jump in, I'm curious, what does it actually do for us to press pause and to have that moment? Because I know so many people are just like, nope, next, it's okay, I can keep going, I just have to dig deep and be resilient, I can push forward. So what does it actually do for us?
That's a great question. It does a lot of things. One of the first things that it does is it helps us to shift into a more calm and grounded state. If we are in that hectic, go, fight or flight, stress energy, we are in that state of being within ourselves, and that's not our most productive state. That's our got to get away from the saber-toothed tiger state. It's not the, let me design the next masterpiece and write this beautiful story. It's not, right? So when we shift into that calm state, even in just a few deep breaths, we activate the prefrontal cortex, which is a part of your brain that's responsible for creativity and imagination and clarity and patience, all the good things, right? All the things that we want to be bringing to the table or to the screen or whatever you're bringing it to at that moment. So it first and foremost does that, which then of course helps you to go into a more calm state. It soothes your nervous system, lowers inflammation, lowers cortisol, which we know cortisol and stress are hand in hand with a lot of health problems. So that in of itself is really powerful and beneficial. And when you bring in the element, because in the pause, there's 3 elements. And so breath is one of them, and we will experience that in a moment. And another one is balance. And so am I in balance right now? So that's a question you can ask yourself when you're pausing. Am I in balance? Because when we spend a lot of time sitting down, which many of us are, so give us a yes in the chat if you're sitting currently. So we spend a lot of time sitting down, and it affects your body. Everything starts to shrink down and slow down. And when we move into that rounded posture, when we're working on the keyboard, we're on our phone, that we all know so well, that pain in the back and maybe the neck and all of that, that's draining, that's exhausting. And it actually limits your ability to breathe properly. So let's have a little quick moment here to get to really hopefully land this for you.
Okay.
So let's all just pause and sit or stand up, and only if it's safe for you to do so. So only if you are not driving, please go ahead and close your eyes. So if it's safe for you to do so, please go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to just soften and take a breath. Okay. And without overdoing it, but just enough to know that you're doing it, I want you to let your shoulders drop forward, bring your arms in front of you like you have your hands on your keyboard, and then get into that kind of sort of energy of, I'm tired, I have to do a million and one things, and it's got to keep going, I got it. And now breathe for me. And now I will never leave you there, so please come back up. Please come back up, lift that beautiful heart of yours, and then let us know in the chat. Or Diane, did you notice the difference? Could you feel a difference?
Yeah,
and in the chat,
me go. Yeah, it was like very constricted in that hunched over kind of. But I do find myself, I'm right into something, I'm leaned over, I'm right in, and I have to be like, whoa, pull back, get back.
Exactly. And that's it, is that when we get into that posture, which admittedly we all spend way more time than we even realize in that posture, it limits your ability to breathe properly by 30%, which is very significant when it comes to oxygen, when it comes to anything, right? And so when we can come back up and open back up and breathe fully, we get that full revitalization through the breath, right? And through the breath, that's the one of the pillars, is that vital life force energy that we are transmitting through the breath. And so do it as often as you can. Just sit up, stand up, and breathe deeply. So those are a few of the benefits.
Yeah, and Paula's saying amazing. She needed this lesson. So that's really good in order to take that pause. Now, is this the power pause that you're speaking of? Or is there another way to take us through, and how would someone be able to do that in their day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You've kind of got a little taste for it already, because I mentioned a few of the pillars. So
Yeah.
One of the questions, so when you're going to take a power pause, and we'll do this together right now. Yay, good. And so three pillars to it, right? So the first pillar is the most vital of all. It literally is the most vital of all. It is your breath. And so ask yourself, so we're going to, again, only if it's safe to do so, we'll close our eyes and ask yourself, where is my breath? And it's somewhat of a rhetorical question, but you'll see how it brings you directly into the present moment. And so the breath is a direct line to the present moment, a direct way to impact your nervous system. And so see if you can bring your breath into a nice, smooth, and steady rhythm. And then the next pillar, you can keep your eyes closed. The next pillar is being. Oftentimes we're very caught up in the doing, the do, go, go, go. And so using the breath to come back to the state of being present, the question to ask yourself is, who am I being right now? Am I being the most dynamic, grounded, expressive, aligned version of myself, or am I frantic and frazzled? And then, beautiful ones, you get to decide who you're going to be right here, right now. So pick one way of being, whether that's dynamic, joyful, grateful, one way, and use these two powerful words with that one way. And say to yourself with the breath, I am, and then whatever it is you're choosing to be. Activate that energy within yourself now and repeat it one more time. So we have the breath, we have being, and then the third pillar is balance. Am I in balance right now? So when we're in the energy of doing, we've now shifted into the energy of being. But see if you can feel into your body. Are you in a state of balance right now? Are you both grounded to the chair or the floor and rising and stretching and opening yourself up? So are you balanced from bottom to top? Are you balanced from left to right? How can you bring yourself back into this centered state? And the question with that is, am I balanced? And this is where you can bring in other components, because if you find I'm not feeling balanced, I'm feeling really frantic right now, I'm feeling really stressed right now, or I'm feeling really tired right now. And so using the different tools of yoga or movement or whatever you like to do to invigorate yourself, you can bring that in. So if you're feeling frazzled, you do something to ground yourself. Maybe you go outside. If you're feeling like I need a little pick me up and I want to generate that natural energy, then you move your body in whatever way is good for you, and you generate that energy from within, so you get that natural energy boost. So it's very balancing in that sense. So to take a power pause. And so one last one that is really fun, let's do this together, because we all need a little more play, right? And so the pause is essentially the recess break for adults. So we're going to do what I call the shaky break. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but again, only if you are, in a safe space to do so. We will close our eyes and we're going to just kind of wiggle and shake your body out. Okay. So you'll get your arms in it. You'll just wiggle. Yeah, good. So close your eyes and shake, 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 shake. Yes, 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 yes. Only in a way that feels safe. Good. And now even shake your face a little bit. That's the funnest part. You got to try that. Shake, 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 shake. Big deep breath. Breathe all the way in and now exhale. And just stay in that centered place. One more breath. Soak it in. Okay. How do you feel now? If you feel even just a little bit better, let's do a sparkle wave. Yay!
Why don't we have everyone put in the chat box, how do you feel right now? And I'm curious, how did you feel after the first triangle piece of the being and the breath and the balance? And then how did you feel after the, what do you call it? What did you call it? Shakey-bake. So how did you feel after both? Because it's funny, there was a moment in the first piece that I was like, oh, right, I'm actually interviewing Megan right now. Like there was a part of me that's like, oh, I'm just chilling out listening to this. And then I have to be on in a moment. And then the shaky bit, yeah, that brought the energy back. And so Paula says calm and jazzed up. So she was calm and then jazzed up. But I'm curious, there's a lot more of you than that just did that. So in the chat box, let us know how that is. And how many times would someone do that power pause in a day? What do you recommend? How many recesses do we need?
That's a great question. Well, I'm going to say as many as possible, but also realistically, as many as work for your schedule. I would say at minimum, we want to do it at least once in the morning to set the tone for the day. And then ideally, remember recess, we would have a short one, a long one, and then a short one, at least at my school. So having at least a mid-morning break, because the question to go with that is, when do you find yourself kind of going and wilting throughout the day? So ahead of that, it's a perfect time to take a power pause. The Shakey-bake is something that I integrate whenever I, go to the washroom, have a bio break, come back. Before I go back to work, I do my little Shakey-bake and reset, because a lot of the fatigue that we feel is actually visual fatigue. Because when we look at a computer, we don't blink as frequently, so your eyes get tired, which can cause strain, which then weakens the posture, and then the whole cascade of issues, right?
Gotcha.
So at minimum, a morning power pause, and then maybe once or twice throughout the day when you start to feel yourself kind of reaching for that next cup of coffee or what have you.
Yes, breathe and do this power pause instead of your coffee. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we need the coffee maybe too.
You know what? Sometimes I don't get to grab my coffee.
Right. You just have a Shakey-bake.
And also I know a lot of people that have rules around 12 o'clock is the last coffee or 3 o'clock's the last coffee. And so you need to have something else in your tool belt. Like that's what a lot of the guests here are doing, is bringing different tools that you can easily bring in. So speaking of tools, you actually have a gift. Let's move to that. Can you tell us about the gift that you have for everyone that's here? And then we'll talk about the VIP gift.
Ooh, okay. Yes, I would love that. So my gift for everyone that's here is my Energy Boost Blueprint, so that you can learn how to take a power pause and integrate that into your day, anytime throughout your day, anywhere you are, without even having to change into exercise or yoga clothes. You can do it in anything that you're wearing, and you won't even need extra equipment. And it's literally just a couple of minutes. So you can grab that at giftformegan.com, and I believe it'll go into the chat as well. But it's a really fun way for you to integrate these tools and keep your body strong and healthy and fit as well.
Good. I'm just gonna Talia, thank you for putting that in there. Could we is there a www in front of it so that we can get it to actually be clickable? Is that possible? Is that how it is, Megan?
I can get it clickable as well.
Okay, pop it in there. So that's for everyone who is here live with us today, which is great to have in your back pocket, right? Every day, scheduling that in. You also have a bonus gift for the VIPs. And just before you explain what the gift is, just so everyone knows, if you do have a VIP ticket, you get special VIP gifts from some of our speakers. And if you were like, but I want the gift that Megan's going to talk about, then afterwards I'll pop the link so that you can upgrade to get not only Megan's special gift, but some special gifts from previous speakers and those that are coming up. So let us know, what's the VIP gift?
It's the Thrive in 5 series. So a lot of times I've heard, I don't have time, but if you have 5 minutes, then you have time to thrive. So it's 5-minute sessions, 2 mini workouts, so full body workouts, a relaxing yoga practice, an energizing yoga practice, and a wake up your sleeping booty practice. Yes, you heard me correctly. We are parked on it most of the day. What do you think is going to happen? And so it wakes it up. So that's my gift for the VIPs, and I can't wait for you to check it out.
Yes. So for anyone that's like, but I'm a VIP and I didn't get it, or how do I get that? You will receive an email that has a link to all of the gifts so that it's very easy for you to keep that organized and to be able to connect with all the speakers to get those gifts. So what's your final message to us, Megan? You've taken us through the triangle, the shakes, the reasons and the benefits behind the power pause. But what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are that you are such a special addition to this amazing life experience that we have. And in order for you to show up as vibrantly as your heart is calling you to do, that means taking care of you too. And really honoring the fact that that's an essential and ideally non-negotiable part of your day, so that you are really giving from that place of fullness and vitality and more, right? Rather than pouring, the cup gets empty and we keep pouring. So really pausing and recognizing that innate value within you, and really taking that time to nurture that relationship with yourself, because it does truly pay off in dividends when you are thriving.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Let's show Megan some love in the chat box. If you loved what she had to say, please put some exclamation points. Also, feel free to share in there, what was your biggest takeaway from what Megan had to say? It's been a real treat to have you, Megan. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I feel the power that has come over me now with that pause. That now I have the energy to continue on today. So thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Thank you so much for having me be part of this, and to everybody that's here. I'm so proud of you for taking time to learn and grow and continue to empower yourself. So I can't wait for you to check out the free gifts and to connect with you further. So thanks again.
Awesome.